I'm Ricky Foles, veterans advocate and founder of After the Mission. I'm inviting you to watch our live stream with MMA fights where I'll be fighting to honor our veterans. Thank you.
I haven't seen the sun in a week and a half. Hey, look! It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we are back here for another exciting edition of After Hours. Of course, I'm Dave Palumbo. We have a huge panel of guests today. They'll be trickling in and out, but we're going to start with the usual suspects, as they say: Greg Valentino, John Romano, Richard Rodriguez, back by popular demand from last week. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Apollo Creed himself, Ricky Foles, who's getting ready for his MMA fight and big charity event this coming weekend. Ricky, that commercial that you sent us, it sounded like you recorded it on like a megaphone or something like that.
No, my voice is already bad, and we did it in the World War II museum, so it's kind of an echo.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was recorded on Mr. G's phone.
He sounded like what you said.
On your cell phone, it was recorded on your 1975 one.
Mr. G, I'll record it for you. Ricky, I'll record it for you.
That's how it's going to be in the locker room Saturday night with Mr. G there. He's going to be giving me words of advice or motivation.
Mr. G's driving down to Louisiana from Florida, all for Ricky. And I got to tell you, John Romano, that guess who's not showing up?
Wait, I love Ricky's voice in that ad. He sounds like he got karate chopped in the neck.
He has 4,000 times, John. That's what from all the years of fighting.
4,000 fights.
Guess who's not showing up, though, for Ricky's fight?
Who's not showing up for
who's
Ricky?
not showing up?
Jimmy the Bull.
Yep.
I was just going to say
Ricky bought him a ticket, and he's not showing up. Bought him a plane ticket.
Not showing up?
Nope.
What the fuck? What
work? Issues with work. He can't make it.
He's the Marine, too.
It was the whole, because of him, we started this whole thing.
I know.
He's still busy looking at the photos. He's still busy looking at the
Ricky was going to put him in like a
five
5-star hotel, too, and he bought him a plane ticket and everything.
And what's his reason for not going? Where is he? How come he's not
the
here?
The hotel we booked had bad reviews, so I was moving into a $350 a night hotel, but then he said work couldn't allow him to come, so I'm like, hell, that'll save me about $800.
Work? Yeah, but you lost $500 on the plane ticket that you spent.
Yeah, but it's Jimmy. It's no big deal.
Dave, these days the flight would have gotten canceled anyway.
Yeah, I thought that Jimmy got over his fear of travel after he went to go see Lee Priest, but evidently not. So
you should have had
the guy who Mr. G trains. He's a combat Marine. He's flying into Florida and riding with Jimmy, so it's an honor that he's doing that.
He got his own plane. He's riding with George. He's riding with
George.
Mr. G.
Jimmy's not going.
I hear.
But
Mr.
now
G.
Jimmy sends me a text Sunday, "Happy Father's Day, bro. I'll see you soon." And I'm like, what you got to put that in there for? You're not going to see me soon. It's like, what are you saying?
Maybe he meant on a show.
Yeah, maybe.
Greg, you and I both have a better chance of getting a box of Mr. G's cookies than we're ever going to get a visit by Jimmy the Bull. And you live in his back freaking yard.
Yeah, there you go.
I know, right?
It's just not happening.
All right, so give us all the details, Ricky, so we can get past that, so that people know where's the pay-per-view, how can they sign up for it? Are you ready are you going to win this fight? What's going on? How much money did you raise?
I've been training 2 hours in the morning before work, 2 hours in the evening, training every day with my boxing coach who beat Butterbean. Every Sunday I drive to
hold on a second. Your boxing coach who beat Butterbean.
Butterbean? I have a story on
Butterbean,
Butterbean, man. Butterbean's a cool guy, man.
Fought him in Biloxi
in 2004
and beat him on points.
Wow. I think his name is Eric Esch or something like that. Eric Esch, yeah. Butterbean.
King of the 3-rounders, right?
So watch this, Dave. Watch this. You see this rib sticking out right there?
Yeah.
That's a nice ass,
that
by
to
the
me
way.
10 days before a fight.
You broke your rib?
Uh-oh.
There's
So look, I injected it. I had my doctor inject it an hour before the fight.
Yeah.
I went to fight the guy, and I got my head split here, 6 stitches and 29 across the head. I was bleeding.
crap.
I still wanted to fight, but they stopped it. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Sounds like you play rugby.
I think you have a little bit of. I think you have a little brain damage, Ricky.
That sounds more like a regular argument with a Latin woman.
Hey, what? How come you didn't? If your coach beat Ford Butterbean, they should have got Butterbean to fight on your card there. That would have been a distraction. He does. Who cares? If he's
now.
Tyson's fighting. He's 60 years old almost.
He's gonna fight.
Dude, they should. Hey, they should have got my mother-in-law to fight Butterbean. She's the same size.
She wouldn't have to fight. She just have to look at him.
She's the same size, except she's 4'11".
I bet you could have got Mr. G to fight Butterbean. That would have been a good fight.
Greg, you know what? Wait a minute. I got to bust on this. This is because Greg understands, and Richard does too. There's a certain type of Latin woman, right? They just look like a giant egg with feet.
But not even. No, it's not even that. One of the things that we're like, I'm 43 years old, and out of the 43 years of my life, 22 of them have been invested in 2 Latin women. And let's just say this: they could be 5'1", but are fucking pit bulls when it comes to arguments. I'm talking about. I remember one day specifically, my ex-wife. My responsibilities was to wash the dishes. So I was really into this fucking movie we were watching. And she would politely say, babe, wash the dishes. I'm like, yes, once this movie finishes. I was tired. I went to sleep. I woke up to the fucking dishes on top of my face with fucking tomato sauce and her screaming, I told you to wash the fucking dishes, you asshole. And I'm like looking at her, I'm like, you crazy bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I'll bet your ass, though, I was washing those dishes every time it was my responsibility moving forward, though.
Wait, and then say something to John Romano.
Richard, I know that well. You know why? Because your mother, when she needs something, right? She calls me 1,000 times in a row, blows up my phone, Instagram, Facebook, everything if she needs something. So
dude, you got to tell him the story. You got to tell him the story about the laptops when my son needed one of the laptops.
It makes me sick. PTSD just thinking about that bullshit.
What happened?
She threatened. My mom threatened Johnny Bravo that she was going to shave his hair if he didn't send the fucking laptops to my son.
Wait, I want to say something to John Romano for a second. John, you're right. That round body, especially mothers and shit. But with the South Americans, like Mexicans, like my mother, they got the fucking skinny legs like SpongeBob. So they could have the fucking flat ass, fat like this, right? With the flat ass and these 2 little fucking skinny legs with shoes on the bottom like SpongeBob. At least the Spanish, like the Puerto Ricans and the Dominican girls, they got the big thighs and shit, right?
Right.
They got the big thighs. But the fucking the South Americans, I don't know, something happened with the legs. It's all they're like a pillow.
I think it's that Indian influence there, that sort of.
Is that what it is?
I don't know, man, but you're so right. It looks like a SpongeBob character. It's like an egg with 2 toothpicks that sticking.
And their asses are flat too.
And
they can have a big ass, but
it's like their boobs and their stomach kind of flow into one piece,
Right.
And you just see them walking around, and it's like, and you're like, how the fuck do they hold that up? Because the legs are like Greg said, they're like sticks. And
they're like SpongeBob. And they think they're hot. They're like, I got body.
Right.
I got look at it, body, honey. And I'm like, holy fuck. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, but when they're younger. Yeah, but Greg, when they're younger, they're very hot, though. It's only when they get older.
Oh, yeah, but they peak at 15, 16 years old. They're already like.
Then the gene. That's true. Then the gene kicks in. The gene kicks in, and then it's all over.
John, ask any NYPD cop. When they first get on the job, they meet some 15, 16-year-old little Puerto Rican girl that's in that neighborhood and shit. They knock her up and they're fucked for life, right?
Look at Jimmy the Bull. Look at that fiber supply in Jimmy the Bull's cabinet, his shelf.
Wait, where's Jimmy?
It's the green wall.
Yeah.
That's, you know what that's called? That's called fucking loyalty, Dave.
I know.
That's called right there. Okay.
No,
That's what
That's
Italians
called you not
do.
being able to
That's
take a
called
dump.
Hollywood
That's all.
Squares.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
It's
have
Hollywood
we need
Squares.
one more person.
There's too many
200
fucking people on here
I'm
today.
rich.
That's called I'm so happy I can shit every morning.
Right.
That's what
That's exactly what that's fucking called, John. That's called my stockpile. That's what
Yeah.
the fuck that's called
If you
right
don't
there.
have it, it's like forget it. You're stuck.
Now
Your crap's like mud.
we also have a
George,
new
I gotta ask you, George. How'd Louisiana go?
They didn't go yet. I heard you backed out again.
How come you're not
He
going?
bought you a
What's
plane
the-
ticket and then you canceled.
What
I
is
heard.
this?
Wait a minute. Wait. I'm lost here.
A
It's
plane
this
ticket,
weekend.
hotel room?
This Saturday.
Yeah, you want a
You-
five-star
Saturday.
hotel.
Oh, it's this weekend.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ricky's here right
So
now.
maybe you don't have to work. Maybe that was just an excuse.
It was.
Yep.
No,
Caught
it's not
him.
an
We
excuse.
caught him red-handed.
No, he
Well,
had
we
to pick
did.
up
We
shit.
caught
Tell
him.
him about the first hotel.
He thought it was last weekend,
He
John.
looked
So
at
all of a
the-
sudden, obviously, it was a bullshit story.
That's a good excuse. Oh, I got that mixed up.
Oh, Ricky. So, Rick, you can have him
last
now.
weekend.
Here he is. You
Yeah.
got him.
They already canceled the ticket.
He wasn't going anyway. I could have told you that. I told you not to
Yeah,
buy
I
him
know.
a
He
ticket.
can't. He,
Nah, I've been working my ass off. It's going to be hard for me because it's a Friday and a Monday.
You already accepted,
Yeah.
though. You accepted responsibility. You said, Ricky, I will
man,
be
it's
there.
all right.
You gave you a
Things
word.
happen. It's not a big
There
deal.
was 6 hours layover in Philly.
Of course, I wanted to be there with Ricky. I mean, I'm going broke over here with this fucking guy.
Well, then you should have
You're
said I
giving your
can't
hard
come.
time, not me, man. I understand.
You should have said I couldn't. By the way, we have another guest on the line here, Frank Schiavone. Do you know who he is, Jimmy?
Who? What?
Frank. This is a guy from your past. It's like, this is my life, Jimmy. You know who he is?
George, what's so funny about that, George? What? I don't understand. Somebody from my... I got it. Before we get off the show, I got to tell about a fucking story that happened to me the day before Father's Day, bro. I almost blew a cork. I almost ended up back in the VA, bro. I'll tell you about that.
Well, you might as well tell it now before we get started because then you're going to be pitching.
All right, so I'm going to tell you now because it's fucking bothered me, right? So it's Saturday. I was coming back from my friend's house. It was around maybe 3, 4 o'clock. I don't know. I was going to go out to eat with a friend of mine, John. Anyway, I'm driving in the car and I see this weird number pop up on my screen. You know, it said Mary Kumquat or some shit from Huntington, right? I'm like, Mary, well, who the fuck is this? I said. And then it said, because it was from Huntington. So I was like, maybe I know this motherfucker. Because usually I don't answer phones, phone numbers that I don't know. You know what I mean? So I didn't answer the first time. Then she called again. I said, you know what? Let me answer. Maybe it's an emergency. I don't know. Maybe this girl's in despair or something. I don't know. So I answered the fucking phone. Fucking bitch tells me that she's with the fucking the shutdown collection thing with PSCG. I said the disconnect. I said what? Disconnect PSCG. That's the electric over here, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying. I said, how's this possible? I said it's fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday. She goes, well, the technician's on his way to your house right now to shut your electric down. I said, what? How does this fucking happen?
you fell
I
for that?
John,
You
this shit
fell
never
for
happened.
that? Are you kidding me right now?
What do I know?
Let him tell the
First time
story.
this
Let
ever
me
happened to me. This never happens to me. So anyway, make a long story short, I says, what do I got to do? She says, well, you owe $500. You gotta go down to a CVS store with $500 cash.
Oh.
I says, well, how come I can't pay with my credit card and my bank account? That's what I do all the time. I don't understand. I said, what department is this? She said, this is the turn-off department or some shit. I said, I never heard anything like this in my life. What do you mean? You're gonna turn me off? I got children at the house. You fuck. I'm trying to get home because I wanted to look at my fucking book.
Right.
The last time my records, right? So I was fucking driving like
His
a
notebook from sixth grade. That sixth grade book that he never wrote in sixth
What
grade.
do I know? I fucking drive home like a fucking maniac to get home. I'm trying to scold the bitch on the phone so I get home. And finally I get home, I look at my fucking book and I go, wait a minute, hold on. I paid over here May 20th, fucking $300. How could you be? I'm not even due to the 23rd. How could you be turning me off? She says, I'm sorry, sir. She said the technician is on his way. So if you don't go down to CVS and pay cash, she says, I'm going to send you a code on your phone. I said, you're going to send me a code? I said, I never heard anything like this before in my life. So I'm going to send you a code. So she sends me this fucking text with a code on it, right? CVS. I'm like, what do I do with this? She goes, you got to go down to CVS, she says, and scan it and tell them that you want to pay $500 on your account. I said, well, how come I can't tell them on PSCG? And they're going to shut me off and I'm paying. No, don't mention that because they'll charge you a $50 a $50 extra charge. I said, if I tell them I'm here because I don't want to get my lights turned off, they're going to charge me another $50 on top of this. She said, oh, yes, they are. She says, to avoid that, make sure you just tell them you're there and you want to pay this money on the account, your account. I got to pay $500 on my account. That's what you got to tell them. Please, I'm trying to help you out. You're trying to help me out. So I got the fucking money. I'm driving down to CVS.
Oh,
no. My fucking wheels are spinning. I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck, there's something fucking weird about this whole shit. So I stopped dead in my tracks. I called PSCG myself.
Yeah.
And the automated thing came on because it's a weekend and nobody's there. And all of a sudden the automated thing goes on. I make a fucking payment, nice and nice at $300. And I already have my account on file. They did the whole thing. Blah, 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 blah. It's done. I'm like, wait a minute. If they're turning me off. Then the bitch gave me 35 minutes to get to CVS. 35 minutes. I said, I'm not even fucking home. I'm not even on the fucking street. I'm not even fucking home. You're giving me 35 minutes to go pay this fucking thing. I gotta go home and get the cash. I gotta find the CVS. You're giving me 35 minutes. What is this? I got a charade fucking shit. She goes, I'm sorry, sir. That's the technician's on his way. I said, maybe I should wait in the driveway for the cocksucker. How about that? You know what I mean? He gave me 35 minutes. So I got the fucking money. I'm sorry, Dad. That's when I stopped and I called PSC. I made a payment. So I said, wait a minute. How the fuck can I make a payment if they're going to shut me down? So I called the bitch back. I said, yo, you got an account number for me over there? Oh, you don't need an account number. I said, no, I think I need my account number. No, we don't have the account. I said, well, this sounds like total fucking bullshit to me. And she hung up. Right? So now there's 3 people called me from that company. And they're all like Pakistani. I said, this don't even sound like America. So I fucking called back the other 2 numbers, and all the numbers are disconnected, bro. They're disconnected.
Jimmy.
How does that shit happen?
Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a code on your phone. Just send $500 to your address.
You're back. You had back on your gym membership, Jimmy, the Gold's Gym Limbrook.
Yeah.
That's Frankie, right?
Yes.
That's me, yeah. What's up, man?
How the fuck you been, bro? What
I'm
the
good.
fuck,
How about you, man?
Oh, fuck, I'm still alive, bro. I'm still kicking. You know what I'm saying? I'm still training. Doing my thing.
I found out online here. What's going on?
Did you really?
It's been about 35 years.
Oh my God, that's a fucking blast from the past, bro.
Yeah.
I tell you, I used to love coming to that fucking gym, man. Let me tell you something. You were like one of the coolest gym owners, man. You didn't give a fuck if I threw a dumbbell through the fucking wall. You didn't give a shit about nothing. I was screaming and yelling. I used to come down here with Quim, Jim barking, doing my skull crushing, screaming my ass off. Frank, he loved it, man.
I loved it.
You loved, yeah.
You and 2 other guys were the only guys that could use the 200-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, you had that dude there. What was his name? Lester, that Dr. Lester. He was
Dr. Slovin. He was that's the guy I was telling Dave about. This guy was a thoracic surgeon, 51 years old, and he used
Thoracic
surgeon.
What do you mean, like T-Rexes and fucking?
No, not Jurassic, thoracic, as in chest, Jimmy.
Oh, sorry, kid. It's hard to hear under the microphone's a little hard.
Is it any wonder?
You said Jurassic. I'm sorry, bro.
No, is it any wonder that he gets scammed by the fucking Pakistanis? Right? What the fuck?
Hey, what do I know? Maybe the guy studies dinosaur bones. What the fuck I know? There's all kinds of people in this fucking world today, John.
You're disappointing me, brother.
Not in Lynbrook, Jimmy. Not in Lynbrook. We ain't in Utah.
I don't know. Maybe they found a T-Rex under the Gold's Gym. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. So who is that guy, Frank? Who's the Dr. Lester? Remember him?
Yeah. Dr. Lester, Dr. Slow. We had a lot of these maniacs over there. I was telling Dave, these guys were. I had a cast of characters. He says, "Give me a couple of bullet points about what we could talk about." I said, "Are you shitting me? I could write a book about the maniacs."
Hold on, Frankie. You got to tell the story about when you first bought the gym from Jimmy's friend Richie Barathy, what the gym looked like. Tell the whole story about how it became a Gold's. That's a great story.
So here's the deal. I used to work out in this gym, and then I approached Barathy because he was never there. He was always doing something, Hollywood or some shit. He was making movies.
Yeah,
I said, Rich, you want to sell the gym? He's like, yeah, I do want to sell the gym, as a matter of fact. And he was so impulsive, I thought maybe he's bullshitting me. But anyway, we got into this deal. But this gym was a total hardcore crazy place. No air conditioning, no heat, In the wintertime, if you didn't wear the garbage man gloves, your hands stuck to the bar. It was so freaking cold.
Wow.
But the equipment was made by two of the black belts. Two of the black belts.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that,
Jimmy.
Frankie.
The 15, they hit the 2 lat pull down machines were 14 feet high. What? 14 feet high, and there was no bench. There was no bench to sit on, so we used to have to sit on a milk carton and then stand on the part that held your legs and grab the bar because it was so freaking high in the air.
Yeah, I remember, man.
Let me tell you something.
12-foot crossover machines and 12-foot power racks. And then the rest was all like universal machines and, multi-units. And the third of the gym in the back, that was all the dojo. That's where he used to kick everybody's ass.
So
literally.
So what? Your fucking demographics were giants, man? The 12 feet tall, man?
Dude, I'm telling you what. He had all homemade shit, and it was all painted bright yellow because 2 of the students worked for the highway department, and they hijacked the yellow paint that you put on the highway. And they painted all the friggin' equipment was bright yellow, right, Jimmy?
Dude, I wish they had gyms like that nowadays.
My first gym was the same way.
Greg's nipples.
The best is the floor. Tell them about the floor.
We used to knock down street signs and use the metal. And my friend was a welder, and he would knock down the fucking street signs, and we used the metal to make and Lee Haney, Lee Labrada, they all trained. They said it was the best gym. We had no heat, and we had no air conditioning. In the winter, we'd bring a bullet heater in there. And people would be bitching because we have to open the windows because it stunk like kerosene. You know what I'm saying? We had that shit. It was fucking crazy, man.
Greg,
There were shootouts outside our gym.
Greg, the steel that these guys used was like 50 gauge steel. I don't know where they definitely hijacked the steel truck. There's no doubt about it.
We used to knock down street signs. It's got the holes all in the fucking metal.
Yeah. And the floor.
I was just telling. Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy, the floor. You remember the floor? Barrett had all his students go down to a truck tire place and get inner tubes. They cut the inner tubes and they put them all over the floor. It was a wood floor, and they put about 900 nails in each mat. and covered holes. There were holes in the floor. I'm not bullshitting. This big that we were waiting any day for somebody's leg to just go through one of those holes and be dangling in the sub basement.
Frankie, I was just telling somebody the other day, I was training with my trainer partner because I've been training pretty steady lately. And I was telling him, back in the day, gyms like that's what made us fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we trained like animals and we trained in pretty much in the element. You know what I mean? When I used to train at Richie's gym in Huntington, it used to rain in the fucking gym downstairs with the pipes and the sweat. I mean, you have to go. Actually, you got soaking wet when you're working out down there in the summertime. Yeah. So I was just telling my friend, I said, when I was in the fucking Marine Corps and I was in the field in North Carolina for a fucking month, I used to find logs and trees and shit. And I used to fucking get them, and then we made a makeshift bench. And I was fucking benching. They were handing me logs, and I was benching logs. Like I wouldn't miss a fucking workout. Even when I was in California, I used to find, we were in the desert, I used to find, in 29 pounds, I used to find rocks. And I used to start bench rocks. I was a fucking,
meathead.
Yeah, I was a meathead. Yeah, but I got to tell you, man, those gyms, I'll remember those gyms for the rest of my life, especially your gym, Frank. That was a hardcore. I used to love fucking training, rock and roll music, pumping. Yeah, everybody's just going fucking ape shit with the weights and screaming. I
was telling him the first time you and Quinn came in, and you walked over to the dumbbell rack. Now the dumbbell rack, the floor was really, really, really sketchy. And
I know.
Jimmy goes over. Now I had just redone the place. I put 3/4-inch mats. I put all new equipment. I had all these beautiful dumbbells. Jimmy goes over and grabs a 140-pound dumbbell and he starts doing tricep kickbacks. And I don't know him. I don't know who the frig he is. I know Jimmy Quinn, but I don't know this guy. I'm like, who is this guy? Next thing I know, he grabs like 170 and he starts doing seated dumbbell press. I was like, holy fuck! When he dropped that, the whole front of the gym, I ain't bullshit. It was like an earthquake. We all were like this.
Well, because he probably threw them, if I know Jimmy.
Oh yeah. And the noise these two guys made, forget about it. It was screaming, 495-pound bent over rows. When they left behind maybe 2-3 bent bars The dumbbells, I needed 2 guys to lift them back up and put them on the rack.
No, they never put their weights away either back then.
Never.
I'm crying. I'm crying over here, man.
Frank, our gym was so bad that when we first opened it, we had to go outside and pee around the back. We didn't even have the bathrooms yet. It was horrible.
Well,
We used to pee in the back of the fucking, there's a hole, like a little alleyway, and we used to all pee back there and shit. Cops would be coming by looking, thinking it was drug deals, but we were just taking a piss. That was my Peak Skill Fitness Center gym. It's unbelievable.
Tell the
Jimmy,
story
I
about.
heard
So
sorry,
Frankie
what?
wanted to get approved to get a Gold's Gym franchise. So Pete Grimkowski had to come out, right, and then inspect the gym.
Paul, his brother Paul was the franchise.
Paul Grimkowski.
Paul was he was the franchise guy. He came out and he saw this gym with all this crazy equipment, this. And
This is before you redid it. Before you redid it. Yeah.
Yeah. Before I redid it, but, they wouldn't allow Gold's Gym in New York, in the state of New York, because their franchise agreement didn't meet up to the standards for the AG, for the Attorney General. So New York was one of the last states that got approved for Gold's Gym, but I had applied for it, and I figured when it gets approved, I'll be ready, So Lyle Alzado used to work out in there, and I became real friendly with him, and he knew the 3 guys.
He was from New York, Alzado?
He was right from Inwood. He was like,
I didn't know that. Away. Did you know that, Romano?
Yeah, from Jersey originally. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in there a lot. He was in there training a lot, but he knew those guys. He knew Kimber, Connors, Gronkowski, and he went out there and he said, "Hey, listen, this is my friend, hook him up, blah, blah, blah." So Paul comes out, right? He takes a look at the gym. Now at the time, I only owned, there was 3 stores. The middle was the biggest. That was an old A&P. That was the gym. And then there was a bar on the right and a luncheonette on the left. So he looks at the gym and he's looking at it, and I say, "Yeah, it's nice, really good. What are your plans?" And I told him my plans. I'm a nervous wreck. And he's like, "Yeah, looks like you could do something here." Well, he goes back to California and I get a letter. You got approved. I'm like, shit. Fuck. But they didn't approve Gold's yet. So anyway, when they finally approved it, me and Mike Gluck in East Northport, we were the first 2 Gold's gyms in the state of New York. So it was pretty. And Grimkowski, this was really funny. Now I'm in this dungeon of a gym, right? I'm barely making money enough to eat.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in the office. I mean, I didn't even go home. I used to work from 5 in the morning till 11 at night. I'd sleep in the office. And Grimkowski comes and he goes, I would say you're probably looking at like 70,000. You'd be doing like 70,000. And I'm thinking, wow, $70,000 for the year. This is 1988. I'm thinking, wow, 70,000 a year. He goes, no, 70,000 a month. I'm like, what? 70,000. I said, this Californian must be smoking crack, man. He's out of it. Well, P.S. We opened in August of '88, and that Christmas was the first Christmas I sold $110,000 in Gold's Gym sportswear. Just the sportswear.
Oh my God.
110 grand.
Wow.
I couldn't keep the shirts. At the time, they had shirts, belt, they had all kinds of shit. I couldn't keep that shit in stock for Christmas.
Wow.
I could not believe it. Anyway, we went on to open. I wound up opening 5 places. And I wanted to tell the story, Jimmy. See if you remember this, about the one in Florida, in Palm Beach Gardens.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to remind you about this. So
this wasn't Mike Quinn, was it?
Jimmy hates this. Jimmy hates
Mike Quinn.
Because what Jimmy does is he forgets all the bad shit. So when
I do.
Well, this is good shit, John. This is good shit. So
what happens is my mind just, like when you got a fucked up life and your mind just shuts that part of the life down. That's what the fuck happened. That's why I got to dig shit out, remember shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, so Mighty Mike Quinn is a partner in this gym, and I have a partner that I'm involved with.
Not just for people who don't know, it's not Jim Quinn. This is Mike Quinn.
Mike Quinn.
Crazy
Mike Quinn.
Yeah, bodybuilder.
Yeah, crazier.
Mike Quinn. So Mike is suspicious that my partner is robbing him. He's robbing money from the gym and blah blah blah. So he calls Jimmy. Wait a minute,
Frank, was that little squealy cocksucker, the guy with the fucking
ponytail?
Yeah, that guy there.
Charlie.
Yeah.
I remember that little mother. Oh yeah, that motherfucker. I remember him.
Now you might be thinking about Quinn's friend. He was a little imp. He was a little English imp. That was Quinn's friend. He had a big mouth. He was nobody.
Oh yeah, maybe that was him. Yeah.
But Charlie was my partner. Big, heavy set guy with a
well,
ponytail.
before we did the interview, Frank said to me, he goes, I don't think Jimmy liked my other partner, Charlie. So you obviously didn't like him.
He wasn't fond of Charlie at all, and neither was I, to be honest. But anyway, so Mike Quinn accuses him of robbing, and he doesn't know, how to handle it. Blah blah blah. He's a little concerned about me, because whatever. So he calls Jimmy. He says, Jimmy, you got connections in New York. Come down here. You got to talk to him. So my partner gets wind of this, and he calls me. He says, Frank, you got to come down here. Mike Quinn called some guy from New York, a tough guy, blah, blah, blah. So I get on a plane. Now, neither one of them have any idea that I know Jimmy from Lynbrook. So we have this meeting at 6:00 at night in Palm Beach Gardens in the parking lot behind the gym, right? We both show up. We get out of the car. I see Jimmy. Jimmy sees me. We go, the fuck are you doing? Because I'm here with Mike. I said, I'm here with Charlie. He goes, what's going on, guys? So Quinn now is like, he's paralyzed. He doesn't even know how to act. He takes out a cigarette and he can't even get the match or the lighter to light the front of the cigarette. He was shaking so bad. So
oh my God.
Me and Jimmy are laughing our ass off. We said, fuck this. Let's just go out for a drink. We went out in the shopping center and had a drink and left these two idiots standing there. But they
it's funny. That little guy was trying to take over Mike's gym.
That little guy was a little backstabbing bastard.
So back then, I had friends, cousins. I made a phone call to New York, and they called Mike's house, right? And so Mike answers the phone, and my friend answers. He goes, "We got a problem down there." He says, "I'm down in Miami." He goes, "Well, we'll meet." Right? So this little guy got wind of all that shit. That was it. He split. We never saw him again.
I like how you call him imp. I like that fucking word. I'm gonna use that now.
That's the right word for that little fucker. He was a little prick. That motherfucker.
Dude, I haven't heard that expression in so long. I'm gonna use that shit now. I haven't heard.
Yeah, use it.
You know how I'm going to call imp? Greg Doucette. That's what I'm going to call imp now from now on. I usually call him a munchkin, but now I'm going to call him a fucking imp.
I got to say, Frankie, when I did the grand opening for Mike in that gym, I told this story before on After Hours, but, we went out partying that night. Went to Club Boca. We were fucking drinking all night long. Right?
Is that when Barry DeMay was there?
Yeah, Barry was there. Yeah, so... Barry was. I'm not talking bad about Barry, but he got fucked up, and Mike Quinn was slapping Budweiser labels on girls' asses and all kinds. We almost got thrown out of here. But anyway, so we got home really late, and I had to do a bench seminar the next morning. I had a fucking hangover from fucking hell, right? And I still got in that fucking gym, and I tossed up to like 8 and change, and I did a couple of reps with it, man. And they were all bugging out. Like Mike and them, they go, "How the hell did you do that? Drinking all night long and shit, I just go, "Because I'm a fucking animal. I'm hardcore. That's how come, motherfucker."
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
The shit that we came from. You know what I'm saying?
This is why today he's making weekly trips to the VA.
I was just saying that to John the other day, my training partner, because I'm walking in the gym. I'm walking across the gym like this, Frank. My fucking back, my fucking neck is killing me, right? I'm like, I said, you have no idea, John. I said, the shit I did to myself when I was younger, you didn't think about it when you were going to get older. I said, I'm all busted up. My elbows don't open up all the way. My fucking neck is killed. My back, I'm going blind. I'm like, all this shit's happening to me, right? Thank God I'm still alive, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I beat the shit out of myself. And you don't realize, because back then we felt like fucking King Kong.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like I felt indestructible. I mean, anywhere I went, I was just tossing weights. I was dragging the whole gym across the fight. I mean, the shit I did was,
that's usually the case when you're on, that's usually the case when you're on really good products, though, man. Come on. It's like, I felt like I was.
Well, I gotta correct you. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to correct you right now.
That's Richard Rodriguez here. Sorry.
Okay, Rich. So here's the story, man. Yes, it's true. Product does help. But you got to be gifted genetically to do certain things, And back then, I wasn't, a wealthy guy, and I couldn't afford a lot of shit. But I had friends give me stuff, like whatever I could manage to take. But I got to be honest with you, I was definitely one of a kind of what I did with the weights, because I used to go against guys 300, 400, 500 fucking pound guys. I mean, I just outlift everybody. I just had really good genetics, and yes, a little bit of gear, did help to recover and heal and to keep going. That's why I did the gear. I really didn't do the gear to take me to the next levels. I had the strength already.
To give you an idea of Jimmy,
I needed to heal.
Hold on, Jimmy. I want to give people.
So you did it the right way. You did it the right way.
No, he did. Richard, let me tell you what Jimmy would do, because I was friends with him. Jimmy would go. He would forget to take shots.
Yeah, Dave knows.
He would pop an Anadrol every morning, but then I'd be like, "What? How do you still have a whole bottle of testosterone left?" It's the same bottle from 5 weeks ago. He's like, I haven't taken a shot. I forgot. And he was still benching like a fucking animal in the gym. It didn't even matter. He didn't use a lot of stuff. He was psychotic.
Was a fucking animal. Yeah. Absolute fucking animal.
Thank you, John. Thank you. John, people used to think that I was on like a mega ton of shit back in the day.
You were just
like, I'm not on. I take a little bit. Yeah, I said.
He would gear up for like an event. If you had a lift, you would take more. If you had a lift at an event, you'd probably pop a few extra Anadrols, right?
Yeah, but Jimmy, you and I, we're 62 years old though now. That says shit don't work right anymore. You know what I mean?
The thing with Jimmy was him when he lifted heavy. It made him really happy. So he was like the kid in the candy store, literally. When he was lifting heavy, he was so fucking smiling and happy.
It was like a euphoric effect.
With his fucking lats popping out and shit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was very comfortable. Am I, doing that? I was like on my own. I was like putting a fucking gorilla out in the wild. I love my environment. I love training heavy. I always competed against myself, not other people. If I could bench 800 for a single, I said to myself, next month or two, I'm going to get a double out of that motherfucker. I used to have my own agenda going on, and when I used to do the seminars and go around the country doing all that shit, it was me. You know what I'm saying? It was, but of course, the people enjoyed it. I did a lot of crazy lifting.
In a tank top, too. In a tank top. No lifting shirts, no nothing.
No, right, exactly, Georgie.
He had the little Quinn knot in the middle.
Yeah. It was funny, Frank, because back in the day, we used to, I don't know how Jimmy started that little knot.
Yeah, I know. You guys used to come in.
Show them what they would do, Jimmy. Show them your shirt and your shirt, what they would do.
They would cut
we used to take the shirt, and then make a little knot like this in the fucking shirt, right?
So your abs show.
And then we used to wear it. Yeah, hold on. My shirt's
tying
very
it up
tight.
like a fucking girl.
Except Quinn was 300 pounds like that, so it didn't look
We used to
gay.
do like two fucking homos, right? And then we have the knot over here like that.
That's where the man bun came from. That's the man bun.
And then I used to have those tight spandex fucking pants. My fucking balls would be hanging out.
No, they used the fanny pack.
Then we used to wear the atomic sneakers with
then they would take the tank tops. They would take the tank tops and they would cut the piping off the sleeve. So the string left.
Yeah. I got a crazy story. One of my former business partners at Iron Addicts Gym ended up losing a bet. And I had that motherfucker working out on a Hello Kitty outfit. I'm talking about a squad party with fucking Hello Kitty slippers, Hello Kitty shirt, Hello Kitty hat. Man. And it's like I have the video, but I'm still trying to contemplate as to whether or not I should reveal it and who the fuck it was. But let's just say that he was a former partner.
Richard, tell the story about the A-Rod. Tell the A-Rod story you told me.
Well, there was one time about 3 months into my gym opening up. One of my close friends, I ended up getting him an apartment literally like 2 blocks away from where I resided. And I used to go there, hang out there a lot of times. And A-Rod had a place up there, a penthouse up there. It was called actually the May Condominiums at 58th Street in Collins. So I happened to come across him while he was working out downstairs, and I told him about my gym during that time. He wasn't dating J-Lo because this was more like 2015 per se. Okay. Make a long story short, we coordinated with him and his agent to do a Q&A in Iron Addicts Gym, where it would, where I would, I would have sufficient time, or at least a month to promote it, to have, to get internet access for $3, do the right marketing strategy to maximize earning potentials for him.
What did you have to pay him for that?
Because at the end of the day, he had a phenomenal name,
Right.
and anybody, getting anybody like that of that caliber. I mean, it's the same reason as why I coached Mark Wahlberg. It's the fucking name.
Right.
You throw that name out there, it's
Sure.
like it's instant credibility.
What'd you throw
So
at
the
him?
fact of so make a long story short, I invited him. We scheduled the day, we did the proper promotions, et cetera, et cetera. The motherfucker, first and foremost, was over 2 hours late. Not a fucking phone call. Had over 700 plus people outside waiting that paid approximately $25 to $50 for the day pass. And I had about a good 3,000 to 4,000 people logged in online, ready to actually ask him questions. So collectively, I made approximately about $30,000 to $35,000 just on that Q&A that was going to be split up 50-50.
Right.
So
Okay.
my wife at that time, diehard fucking Yankee fan, the second the photographer tells me, hey, A-Rod's downstairs, he's getting prepared, blah, 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 and all that other stuff. I go to tell my wife, I was like, babe, A-Rod's downstairs. I know you check his ass every single time we were in the Yankee game and how much you love him. So it's like, go downstairs and introduce yourself. Boom. She goes downstairs, talks to him, and within 2 seconds, that fucking prick tells my wife, he's like, hey, man, I got no time for fucking groupies. I'm getting ready.
Wow.
She comes back
shit.
upstairs crying up a fucking storm. And she's like, babe, that guy's an asshole. I was like, what happened, babe? It's like, we're about to do this Q&A. And she's like, he called me a fucking groupie. I was like, what? I stopped what the fuck I was doing. I go downstairs. And as soon as I enter, he literally said, I got no time for fucking fans. I'm like, listen, motherfucker. The person that came by about 2 minutes ago was my wife. She was a diehard Yankee fan and was at one point a diehard fan of you and your fucking ass. And you know what's going on right now? He's like, what? You fucking going home? Fuck this Q&A. I'm gonna fucking refund everybody and I still give you your fucking cut. But because you're a fucking prick, I want you to fuck out of this gym. And he's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't know that she was your wife, blah, 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 and all that stuff. I'm like, look, to put it bluntly, dude, I've made my decision. You disrespected somebody that was important in my life, and we're not doing this Q&A. It was a complete disappointment for the people that were there.
Wow.
However, it just comes to show that, you know what? It's like sometimes people just don't have really good business practice, man. It's sad because, you know what? It's like one thing is having fans and being consistent. Like if you're a douchebag, be consistently a douchebag. Because at least people would know, hey, you know what, that guy's a prick. For example, like when I told you guys about Flex Wheeler, you know how many people told me it's like Flex Wheeler's an asshole. So it's no surprise that he was a fucking asshole to you. So you see, it's like I didn't get that from A-Rod. And once he disrespected my wife, I realized how much of a true asshole that person is. It's like I never do. When I was making $30,000-$40,000 a fucking day selling fucking juice and having a very thriving gym franchise in Miami, I was the same person when I was fucking broke versus the same person when I had 9 or 12 fucking cars. I had people that used to clean my fucking equipment that used to drive my cars more than me, dude. I had my bodyguards and friends that would ride, it's like, and John can tell you, man, it's like people would come in from like, athletes would fly in from like everywhere to train in my gym. I'll lend them my fucking car for a week. Wow. Why? Because I never used to have that money define my character.
Where was your gym at, Richie? Where was it at?
It was actually the Wynwood Art District.
Iron Addicts, Jimmy.
Yeah, Iron Addicts. The famous C.T. Fletcher, Mike Rashid.
Oh, in California?
No.
Yeah,
Miami.
I was the one that invested $2.3 million to launch a flagship location of Iron Addicts in Miami, and it was a fucking huge success. Even short-lived, but a huge success. Over 3,500 people attended the grand opening. It's publicized everywhere on YouTube.
We were just at that gym, me and Lee. We were just there.
It wasn't for the steroid store above.
Jimmy, it's in Miami, not in California.
You were in the California.
You were in the California one.
Hey, Rich, was it anywhere near Panther Coffee?
Yeah, of course, man. I love fucking Panther Coffee, man.
It was right there, close by.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that area real good.
I love that, dude. It's like I love that. I love that fucking coffee.
Hey, Rich, I got to ask you a question. Since last week, all that stuff with Flex Wheeler, has there been feedback to you? Have you been getting like, yo, he's pissed off, or any of that stuff? Have you gotten any feedback about that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, a couple of people told me, it's like, hey, you know what? Because I'm trying to give you guys some insight. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Dave, that initial opportunity. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback, and a lot of people that want to do joint ventures with me.
Yeah.
But most importantly is that I'm working with a guy that's doing a that's going to be doing my documentary / film, and he also has worked. I'm not going to name names yet. He also has worked with Flex Wheeler on a few initiatives, and in the beginning he didn't want to reach out to me. He's like, "Look, Rich, it's like I love your story. I know it's going to make a shit ton of fucking money because it's like the new modernized Pain and Gain like type of film. However, it's like you know how really close I am to Flex, and he's just not happy with what you said." And I'm like, "Look, one thing is slandering and one thing is the cold hard fucking truth." And he was like, "You know what? I respect that because at the end of the day, it's like, look, if somebody treats you well and you're just an ungrateful piece of shit, guess what, dude? It's like it's gonna show, it's gonna be revealed. And if he is mad, you know what he should have done? He should have been a man about it and just come, and just reach out to me and be like, hey, you know what? My apologies for being that way. It's just like when I got out of prison. There were certain people that, very close, big time athletes that I don't want to name names that, you know what? I may have misled them. I may have done something that was not necessarily the right thing to do at that point in time. Right? But you know what? I humbled myself down. I reached out to the people like Kevin LeBron and a lot of individuals. And guess what? They appreciated that honesty. They appreciated that humility, something that they never saw in me prior to that. And guess what? We have phenomenal relationships now. And it's growing and cultivating.
That's the difference between people that respect other people. That's the deal.
Yeah.
You respect somebody else.
There's not much head around anymore, Frank.
No, none of that. No more. No more.
It's sad, dude. It's sad.
With the old time gyms and the hardcore training, all the respect and honor is going out the fucking window too these days.
Fuck. Yeah. Today, guys are training with cell phones. Jimmy, and what you did back then, today, some fucking kid's doing that all juiced out of his mind, get his friends to fucking videotape that shit, and then it's all over the fucking internet.
I got to say something, Greg. I think one of the key things, I don't know about today, but one of the key things back in the day when we all trained, me, Dave, John, everybody, we didn't have those fucking phones. So we weren't distracted. We used to go in the gym and just get it over with, and just even when I used to go over to Frankie's gym in Limbrook, man, we just trained, man. Nobody stopped to fucking do this, to send a message or take a fucking go like this. We don't have time for that bullshit. Everybody just got in the gym. We just trained like fucking animals. That's all we did.
If there were phones, maybe you would have. Who knows?
Jimmy, the truth of the matter is, if somebody would have been wasting time on a bench back then, we would have been like, hey, listen, can we work in? If they were like, no, I can't. He would have got thrown off the fucking bench.
Absolutely, 100%.
What would Charlie Arms have said, Greg?
What's that?
Charlie Arms used to tell me I was 15 years old in the gym, and I was fucking blasting away. I was already jacked, and he'd tell me, hey, come on, I need those dumbbells. Put them down. Let's go. Find something else. Let's go. Hey, put them down now. And I'd be like, holy shit. I'd put him down. I'd go over to another machine. All of a sudden, he'd show up at that machine. Hey, like the fucking pulley machine off the wall. I remember he freaked out. Hey,
Greg, I got news for you. When I was 15,
now,
Greg, they didn't even have fucking gyms. They had Lucille Robin and Jack Verlaine.
And YMCA.
I used to ride my cocksucking bicycle up the Walworman High School over here and train on the Universal with about 100 guys.
Me too. I'm your age. I'm 62. Me and you are the same age.
Bro. They had nothing. I built this fucking thing in my fucking shed. My back had pulleys with a fucking metal pipe. I'm doing pull downs. My friend welded these plates out of steel. He was a welder. He cut these giant discs, 90 pounds. We used to price the price. We didn't none of this shit there. We trained. Whenever we trained with animals back in there, it was just that was it. I used to put on a jacket because my shed was so cold in the winter. I used to have one of those stand-up propane heaters. I used to wear this jacket, and the bigger the jacket, the stronger I thought I was because I was sick in the fucking head. So I used to wear these big jackets, and I used to walk in the fucking gym like this with this fucking astronaut looking, and I said I'm gonna bench that 315 today because in my mind, I thought I was fucking huge because I had this jacket on because I was thick bastard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, let me tell you, I used to travel 25 miles just to go to the White Plains YMCA. There were no gyms around. I trained in my house. We were lifting sewer caps.
You would work out at the YMCA?
That was a good gym back then.
Wait, I can't remember. I'm talking
Wait a second. Are there still YMCAs? Are you guys still?
Yes. The billiard The plastic dumbbells I used to have, all that shit.
I was just gonna say before Johnny interrupted. I was doing those fucking dumbbells. I made the dumbbell myself with a piece of fucking pipe, and I had the Sears plates on it with the concrete, with the little cap. And I'm doing it live. Every time I banged them together, the concrete was going in my mouth and my eyes, and I'm fucking banging. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I was eating concrete and shit. Still did them. You know what I'm saying?
Still have those dumbbells.
You want to hear something creative? In prison, especially in Yazoo City Low, you know what was our weights? Fucking batteries. We used to collect batteries, and we used to have different sizes, like 25-pound dumbbells made out of fucking AA batteries, 50-pound dumbbells.
Pillowcase.
In a pillowcase.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's like I even think I sent you pictures, Johnny, at one point in time. It's like, the creativity, man, in fucking prison was amazing.
Hey, Dave, you want to hear a funny story about Lyle Alzado?
Yes, of course.
So I'm with Alzado one afternoon where he goes, listen, Frank, let's go grab something to eat. Oh, okay, no problem. And he was in a little bit of a cranky mood, you know. So I was like, oh, shit, man, this is not good. So we're driving along Central Avenue towards Inwood, and some guy cuts him off and gets in front of him, stops at the red light. This maniac gets out of the car. You remember Alzado, right, Jimmy?
Yes, I do. He used to come to Rabs too with
I remember
Freeman McNeil and Gaston.
Freeman McNeil, Mark Gaston who trained there, Jerry Cooney trained there. I mean, we had a fucking crew and a half over there.
Oh yeah. So Alzado gets out of the car, walks up to this guy's convertible, puts his fist through the top of the convertible and grabs the guy by his hair, and he's pulling him. He's doing like a Hellboy roll with the guy. All I see is the guy going like this, and Alzado screaming in the middle of Central Avenue. I'm like, I jump out of the car. I'm like, wow, get in the car. We get in the car. Nothing happened back in the day. You know, nobody took license plates, called cops, or did any shit.
Yeah. Or get the phone out and take the pictures.
There was no phone. So we go to the diner, right? And now he's just like calming down a little bit. Calming down.
Was he in the middle of his football career then?
What's that?
Was he playing football then?
Yeah, he was playing. Well, yeah, he was playing football. He was actually doing his comeback for the Raiders.
Okay.
So he was juiced to the max. He was really, and he was.
I was training with him during that time in Cali.
I saw him freak out in Gold's Gym because fucking the Barbarian brothers stayed at his house while he was away, and they fucking had parties and wrecked the house. And Pete Gronkowski and Paul Gronkowski told the Barbarian brothers, "You're out for 3 months or 6 months. You got to train somewhere else because if you come in here, Alzado's gonna fucking kill you in front of everybody."
Frankie, nobody knew how bad fucking Lyle was.
Get back to the story.
Nobody really knew him, man.
Yeah.
You know,
he was a badass. I'm telling you, he was a tough dude. He didn't take no shit from nobody.
No, he didn't.
One day we were training legs, and we wanted to do leg extensions, and this skinny guy was on the leg extension. And Lyle goes, "See how many sets he's got left." So I go, "How many you got left?" And he says, "When I'm done." Alzado hears this. His hand is like a fucking bunch of bananas, right? He goes, "You're done now," and he stands in the middle of his chest, and he grabs his shirt like this, and he flings the guy like this. Flings him. The guy goes like 6 feet, lands on the freaking. The guy was a fucking lawyer.
Oh no!
Wow.
Sued him. He got 35 grand out of it.
No. So I seen Matarazzo do the same shit. I seen Matarazzo chase guys. When I was there, he kicked 2 guys' ass outside fucking in the alleyway there at Gold's Gym.
Yeah, well, they pulled a gun on him. Remember that? And he smacked
Matarazzo. He fucking threw one of them in a dumpster. He lifted him up after he knocked him out, and he threw him in a dumpster. And I was in the gym, and 2 cops came in, and they took him out.
You talking about Mike Matarazzo?
Mike Matarazzo. I was right there.
He was Golden Gloves champ in Boston.
Yeah, he was a bad dude.
He was a tough guy. Yeah.
I did a seminar with him at some gym. I forget where the hell it was. We did, yeah.
Didn't Mike used to collect for people?
The Sears dumbbell.
Jimmy, plastic dumbbell. Look, still got the little.
I'll get back to the Alzado story, Frankie. Oh my God! Under the table, he had it. Can you believe it?
What the fuck you got under that fucking table? Jesus Christ!
Holy shit!
I swear to God, I never saw anybody. You must have so much shit under that fucking table. Every time we talk about something, you don't know what we're gonna talk about, and you got it under your fucking table.
That's the crazy.
I'm beside myself.
That was
He's
my
like the
first
fucking-
weight
he's like
set
the
as a
fucking-
kid. Were those shitty plastic sand weights? I hated those fucking things.
Greg's a
he's like the
magician.
fuck-
You
he's
didn't
like
know
the
Can't
that?
believe you still
Don't worry
have
about the
them.
weight down. He's got it under his fucking desk, man.
I can't believe he still has it.
He's got a
Greg, you're like
side
the-
job. He's a magician.
Listen, it was
Greg,
part of
Greg,
that stupid
Jimmy's
set.
right
You remember
about
that?
those things. Whenever you
Greg.
clank them together, the sand came out of the hole.
Yeah.
Right there.
Remember that was that
Oh,
piece
Yeah,
of
there's a
shit
little
set.
square. Greg, you
Oh,
got
right
the
there.
dumbbell. Let me
Yeah.
see that dumbbell, Greg. There's a little square like patch on that.
Whoa, right
fucking
there.
thing. Yeah,
Where the
yeah, there
sand
it
is.
is. Yeah, right there. Right. Yeah, all the shit used to come out of there. Right,
He's like
exactly.
the
Hey,
fucking,
Jimmy.
he's like the fucking carrot top of bodybuilding. He has fucking props under his desk, probably.
How about the screw in the
Jimmy,
collar?
let's start
That-
talking
Greg, how long have you had that?
You'd be rusted to death.
That's a
Yeah.
wrench for-
And-
you
There it is.
can't
Right
do
there.
that with your
Coming
thumb.
No.
Hey, Dave,
Right there.
Four-sided.
Look at that
nut.
fucking collar, Dave.
Yeah.
That thing's from 1985. That fucking thing.
I hated
Nobody's
those
got collars
fucking
like that
collars.
anymore. You got to use a fucking wrench on that cocksucker. That's what you used to
I
do back in the
hated
day.
it. I hated
Yeah,
Jimmy,
we
it.
gotta
you probably
use
use your
a
fingers
wrench.
to screw that thing in there, probably.
You
if I know
can't
you.
use your fingers. You got to use an adjustable wrench. That's how we got
That's
it on
from
our
like
own.
1975.
Jimmy.
Then
Let's
they
stop.
improvised. Then they got smarter. They put like a little metal.
Yeah, a little-
one of those.
Yeah, a little handle on it that you
Yeah,
cut.
right. Yeah, they got smarter. They got it. So we were able to
Hey,
do that,
Jimmy,
yeah.
let's start talking about farm animals. See if Greg can pull a goat out from under the desk.
I bet you he would, Frank. I bet you he would, man.
Greg, how
That
long
fucking
have you
guy's
had
got
that?
everything
So
in there.
Frank, go
Greg,
back
how
to
long
the
have you had
diner
that
with
fucking
Alzado. He's calming down. That's what you were saying.
70s.
Say that again. I'm sorry, Dave.
You were in the diner with Alzado. You said he finally
so I'm in
calmed
the
down.
dining with Alzado, right? So this young, attractive woman comes up to the table and she goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, "I'm a fan. I can't believe you're here. Can I have your autograph?" He's sure, no problem. He signs the autograph, and anytime he ever signed his autograph, he always signed it and put 77 underneath it, right? His number.
Yeah.
So she goes, "Oh, thank you, thanks." She looks at the thing and she goes, "What's 77?" So he goes, "That's my number." She goes, What number?" So he goes, "The fuck are you talking about, lady?" She goes, "Aren't you Jake Seinfeld?"
Oh no!
Wow. He despised Jake, Body by Jake. He hated that guy with a passion. And this girl asked him, "Aren't you Jake?" And he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I thought he was gonna kill her.
Frank, I never liked that motherfucker either. I don't know why.
Nobody did.
Nobody
that
did.
guy.
Nobody liked him.
I forgot about that asshole.
Why wasn't he
I
like it,
had long
Frankie?
hair. Fucking Krumkowski
Ponytail.
used to tell me, "You look like Pete Siegel, but built." You know what I mean?
Why
Peter-
didn't
You know
anyone
what?
like Jake
Hey, Greg,
Steinfeld?
Greg, did you know that
Jealousy.
Pete Siegel, we used to call him Madman. He started training in my gym. He was in.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even know that. I've interviewed him a few times
He's
too
a New
before he
York guy
died.
then.
Yeah.
He came after Richard Simmons. You guys remember Richard Simmons? Yeah.
Yeah, but he looked like shit. And he used to tell me, Krumkowski used to say, "Fold your arms. You look like a built Pete Siegel." Because I don't know, some of my hair, the way I had my hair and everything, and a fucking Italian beak. You know what I mean? Even though Siegel's got the Jewish nose, it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Pete was a character, man.
The beat.
Hey,
I gotta
Hey,
say
hey,
something though. I gotta say something hands down, Frankie. I loved your gym back in the day, bro. That fucking gym. Those are the kind of gyms that I grew in. Richie's gym in Huntington. Even Bev's. Steve's place.
Yep.
Fucking hardcore. World's Gym in Babylon. Joey Lavotti's gym. Those are the sweatshops I love to train in, man. It's just got a certain. You just want to train. You know what I mean? Like I went to LA Fitness the other day just to go on the treadmill because I started doing the treadmill a little bit. I did it one day. I'm probably never going to do it again. But anyway, I went in there anyway, and and I see everybody all dressed up nice and walking around, and a couple of guys had a little shape on them. I said, look at these fucking homos in here. I can't train in this fucking place, man. It's just they didn't have the
You're
fucking
antiquated,
atmosphere,
Jimmy.
so-
That's why. Yeah, you're a dinosaur, Jimmy. When it comes to that.
Dave. I'm scared of myself, man. I am. I'm a fucking dinosaur, bro.
You're this
Hey,
close
Jimmy,
to going
Jimmy.
extinct.
Greg is gone. He's probably Greg just left. He's
He
probably
went to
going
get
to
the
get that
goat.
goat.
Yeah, you went to get the goat.
Probably is.
Where did Romano go?
I'm right here. I was actually looking. My
Hey,
girlfriend
Dave.
has a fucking goat thing in the back. I was going to try to
We
get
knew you were going for the goat. You know, Greg, today is
pinata.
today
It's
is
a goat pinata.
today is
Dave, I got a
Charlie Arm's
question.
79th birthday.
Hey,
Where is he?
Dave,
You can have him come
I
on?
got a question for you.
did
Did you
now.
know,
Oh,
Dave,
man,
did you know a guy, a bodybuilder that trained in Mihalik's gym? His first name was Augie. He was a little Italian guy, but he was built like a rock. He used to work out at Rabs at Gold's. Well, it wasn't even Gold's; it was Diamond Gym at the time. I couldn't use Gold's Gym because I didn't have it, but I used Diamond Gym was the name.
Okay.
And Augie, he went to Mihalik's gym. He was unbelievable. I mean, he was about 5'6". I can't remember.
That
his
was
last
before
name
my
for sure.
time. Probably Jerry
You
Smollett.
sure his name was Augie? It wasn't Andy Lopadotti, was it?
No, it
No,
wasn't
Augie.
Andy.
His name was Augie.
Augie De Palma.
Yeah. And then Tony Ricky. You guys know
Tony Ricky, I
Yeah.
knew him. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony
Yeah,
Ricky,
yeah.
Frank Seppi. They all came to my gym.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
trained him about
Kids,
Donuts, too.
they were 16 years old when they came to my gym.
Right.
Frankie,
Yeah.
you remember Joey Fulco's gym over there in
Fulco.
huh?
Joey
Yeah.
Fulco. Now he plays guitar. He quit bodybuilding, but he was a great teenage bodybuilder. I know Joey. You know, he actually went into play like now he's like a rock guy and shit. You know.
No,
Maybe
so what
he's
happened?
under
He owned East Coast Gym over there, Dave.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
on Hempstead Turnpike. I don't know where the fuck it was, but
Yep, Hempstead Turnpike.
was it Hempstead Turnpike?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we used to show. So one day, you know, his brother Steve Fulco, you know, they used to own 5-Star Ravioli Company. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
the father had the big ravioli company. Yeah. So, you know, figures us Italians, right, with the ravioli. So anyway, so he said that one day his brother came walking in the gym, you know, 4 in the morning to train because he was big Joey at that time, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And he turned the lights on, right? And he looked around, he turned the fucking lights, he left. He never touched the weight again. And then he went down to some I don't know what it was, some band, and he did like an appearance or something with his, and he got spotted by I forget who the singer was, Dolly Parton or one of them. And he hooked up in the band, went with them, and he started.
That's
He
what
started.
Wow.
That's what I
Really?
was
That's a
saying. He
good
became
story.
a guitarist. I know.
Yeah,
I know Joe.
he hooked
Yeah,
up with
Joe
Dolly
became a
Parton, I think it
guitarist.
was.
That could have
Yeah,
been
he
you,
was
Jimmy.
Huh?
That could have been you.
It could have been me. Yeah, could have, should have, would have. You know, I don't feel
You had the guitar skills.
I got. You know, when I write
And
a
a
book, Frank,
piano.
you know what my book? You know what the name of my book's gonna be, man? Trail of Tears. That's gonna be my fucking. That's gonna be the name of my fucking book. Give me the bull. Trail of Tears,
I think
man.
somebody used that
That's
title
all I
already.
did,
Jim.
That's a great fucking name.
Motherfucker.
I
Still
think, you know what I
chasing
think?
the
I think
I'm gonna
that,
get that tattoo,
hold on.
Dave. I'm gonna have a skull running up my leg here, and the other one's gonna be running down that leg with a nut in its mouth. Because that's all I fucking do is chase the fucking
you know
nut.
what? I got a great idea. John Romano, let's you know how I need you to help me filter the ideas out that I get. We should get Jimmy the Bull, Greg Valentino, Frankie, and Richard Rodriguez. All 4 of them have owned gyms. Well, Jimmy's terrorized gyms. He's never owned a gym. And get them to open a mega hardcore gym someplace together.
I would love it.
That would be cool as shit, man.
Right in Miami.
Let's get on a call and let's do it.
Let's make sure it's in the South where it's warm, please.
Miami.
Definitely.
Fort Lauderdale.
You know, it could
Hey,
be
Jimmy, I'm
built
down here.
Richard could build it as the second coming of
That's
you
right.
know, Richard Rodriguez.
You got a lot of experience there.
Take over South Beach again. Get a great location. Put everybody's know-how together. Equip the place like fucking crazy hardcore.
And then we'll put the hot dog truck out front.
You can run the hot dog truck out front, yeah.
And a
Richard
cookie
G's
thing in
protein
front,
snacks
right,
on
George?
the
He's angry
inside.
dogs.
Greg, you had a gym before. Richard had a gym. I mean, Frankie had gyms. Come on.
Definitely,
I had one.
definitely.
I had-
And I was always and I was always an admirer, and I was
Let me
always
show
an
my
admirer of the
mother-in-law.
hardcore atmosphere.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I was always an admirer of the hardcore
And
atmosphere.
Rich, you can make Flex Wheeler your manager.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, Rich.
I'm a higher flex. I'm a higher flex, and invite Mark Wahlberg and A-Rod to do Q&As the second we open up.
Well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hire Mark. You're going to get Wahlberg to come down, but you're not going to tell him that Greg's in the other room. And you're going to say, Mark, go wait in the back room till we call you out. Valentino will be back there, and they're going to go fucking bare knuckle fist. Fight to the death. Rematch.
Yeah, Greg could put him in another headlock.
Yeah. No, but with none of his entourage there, right?
Hey,
5,000 people a week
Hey
in
guys,
Florida. dude.
hey guys, I just wanted to say something
5,000.
real quick just before things ended.
Yeah.
One of my friends that was looking at a life sentence, guy by the name of Jack Fisher. I helped him with his appeal in court as his unofficial attorney, and he's getting immediately released today. This was somebody that was going to do a life sentence for marijuana, man. He didn't have a penny to his name, and just got a message on Messenger right now saying, "I'm awaiting immediate release. My case won Supreme Court." You see, this is a true sign that, you know, God is fucking good, man. If you're a good person, bro.
Richie, how do you go to jail for marijuana? People are getting away with everything today. How the fuck you go to jail for marijuana?
Well, how the fuck did I get 8 years for steroids when everybody's getting
my brother was in Harbor Freight.
Richard, I love you, man, but you were making $22 million a year. That's it's all money based. Well, you know that.
True.
Listen, Richie, my brother was in Harbor Freight the other day, right? He went back to return a vacuum for his business, whatever, and he was trying to save $20, right? So he went back and all of a sudden he sees these two guys walk out with a shopping cart filled with tools. And everybody's looking at him, and they just looked at everybody and go, "This is how you do it." They walk right out the door. And all the salespersons ran to the window, and they're watching the guys load the fucking thing, and they just drove away like it was a regular day. And my brother said to the manager, "Ain't you going to do anything?" He goes, "Well, we're not allowed to do anything. We can't pursue. We can't call the cops. Nothing." This is the shit that's going on today.
Holy shit.
You know, the guys walked right out of this. My brother said, "What the fuck am I doing wrong over here for 20? I'm trying to save $20. These guys just walked out with a fucking wagon with like $1,000 worth of tools in the fucking thing."
That's New York.
You know what, Jimmy, if you try to do that, if you walked out with a screwdriver, Jimmy, you'd be in jail, definitely.
Dude, if you did that here, you would be shot at least 20 times. All right, your body would be dragged out and hung upside down in the fucking street. And you don't do that shit here.
No. Where were you, John? We were just at a Lowe's here, and my girlfriend was standing there at the door waiting for me. I was taking a pee in the bathroom, and these fucking guys were running out with what do you call it? Generators. And they were big generators. And the guys from the store, they just like kind of let them do it. They're like,
it must be a New York thing, I guess, huh?
Because of the law, they don't arrest them, Dave.
That's what it is.
Prosecute.
They don't get in trouble here.
I got a couple of friends in Suffolk County Police, but they want to quit right now. Because they don't get no respect. They lock people up. They get the fuck out the next day. It's like it's retarded over here. I told you, I talked to the manager at fucking King Cullen over here. He told me they're going to build an express lane for shoplifters. They don't want nobody getting hurt.
That's true. That's true.
I said, what do you mean you're going to build an express lane for shoplifters? He goes, yeah, because when they rob the shit, instead of them running out of the store, maybe hurting the customers, run them over. We goes, we're making a fucking express lane for these motherfuckers. They can just run the fuck out. I said, you serious, bro? He says, yeah, they're working on it right now. I said, holy shit, man.
Crazy shit.
New York.
I'll be in that express lane. I guarantee it.
New York's
that
the toilet.
Florida's the place. South Florida. Come on, Jimmy.
Fucking New York, John. New York, bro.
Dude, it's bad here.
You better get out, Jimmy, while you still got a chance.
Dude, there's savages here. There's savages. Everywhere there's savages.
Move down to Florida. You're going to build that gym. Greg, get your butt down here. You've run a gym before. You love being at the gym.
I've had 3 gyms.
You could hang out all day at the gym. You'd be perfect. Behind a counter, you'd bring tons of people in there.
You'd be like the maitre d'.
Richard Rodriguez will put a fucking live webcam on you.
You know what the problem is? I'm too easy going. I never charge anybody. I let them go. I don't worry about it.
You're not going to be in charge of collecting the money. It's automatic now. It's credit card.
You got me now. You got me now as your business advisor.
That's right.
So
Richard will collect the money. Don't worry about it.
Free. Holy shit.
Once they pass you, Greg, then they got to pass me. I'll collect the money.
That's right. Oh, Jimmy will be there. Yeah, exactly. There's no express lane at this gym. That's for sure.
No express lane, man.
And we gotta have hardcore plastic.
We gotta have a whole section of the gym that's gonna have all that concrete shit.
Dude, you gotta bring your own pliers just to take all
that. No, we'll hand out adjustable wrenches at the door, Greg.
Hey, guys, that might not be a bad idea. What if you guys got all old equipment and redid it all so it looked authentic? You know how they redo old cars?
Yeah. You know who did that? Yeah. You know who did that, Dave? Brian Moss. My friend Brian Moss.
Yeah.
Brian Moss is a great guy. He's my boy. Dude, he built a whole gym with Ed Jubinville equipment, all that old school, like 1950s.
He had to find the thumbtacks. This is how detailed he is. He had a cork board, a board where you stick the cork, cork, where you stick the pins, right? Yeah. He had to get the thumbtacks. The thumbtacks you see now are plastic, and they got that kind of like shape.
Yeah.
He searched all over to find the old school metal thumbtacks with the flat top to put him in there.
He should have came to my house. My father's an artist. He did everything to the T. Everything. Even if he had to redo the
where's this gym? Where is this gym, Greg?
It's in his basement.
He did it for he does it because he does photography, photography.
It's in his basement. It's in his basement in his building in New Jersey. New York. He lives right across the river.
Right. Yeah. Yep. He's great. It's over by where Victor Martinez Cafe used to be.
It might be a cool concept to do for a gym.
Yeah, exactly. Right by Victor Martinez's
have
Cafe.
A section of it. You can call it like throwback or something like that, or the
Dude,
old...
he does videos there. Yeah. Like it would be great, Jimmy. If you were gonna do something with Jimmy, like a throwback with Jimmy when he was doing all that, you could do it at his gym, like hardcore. You know what I mean?
He does them in black and white. You see that those Evan Centopani animal pack pictures? That's where they were taken.
That's where they were all filmed.
No, right. He had another gym in Jersey. I've been there. He shot me there too. But I think this is a new thing he did with his house.
This is a new thing.
He's been working on it for years.
He started in the 2000s. But I know because him and I'm good friends with him. And I know a lot of guys that had Gilbertville equipment and stuff, and I was trying to hook them up with.
You're talking about Brian Morse, Greg?
Yeah, Brian Morse. Yeah.
I thought he had the gym in Manhattan, Better Bodies downstairs.
No, he hasn't had that. Jesus Christ, he hadn't had that since the fucking maybe.
He sold that to Robbie Marinelli.
Tommy Marinelli.
He sold that also too.
Yeah, Tommy Marinelli bought it. Yeah. It became something else.
I remember it used to be downstairs. It used to go down the
downstairs.
19th Street gym, and now it's something else.
19th Street. Wait, hold on. I got to think for Greg.
That place used to look like a half a nightclub. It had chandeliers.
It was.
Right?
A lot of gay guys in that gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Frankie used to have furniture. It had couches with night tables, pink lamps and shit with the crystals hanging off and shit. I remember that place.
Yeah.
You didn't know whether it was
very dark, that place, Frank. You needed a flashlight to find the next piece of equipment in that place.
Greg.
Yeah.
Where I can't see.
Right there, man.
Oh shit! Look at that.
What?
Holy shit!
I don't see it. What is it?
19th Street.
Talk, John.
It's a jacket.
If you don't talk, we're not going to see you, John.
That's right there. 19th Street gym. That's
there it is.
Marinelli's place.
Yeah, that's Marinelli's gym. Yep.
I think it's called something else now.
It used to be Better Bodies.
This
when
is
Brian owned it.
The tattoo.
Better Bodies.
Belly button right there.
Yeah. Look at that jacket, man. Holy shit.
How about that? Patch on the front.
That's cool.
All right. So listen, when are we gonna open this hardcore gym, guys? We got Jimmy collecting the dues.
Frankie, let me tell you something, Frankie.
Let's go, man.
The only two guys that are going to make it happen, Frankie, are going to be you and Richard, because you guys are doers. Greg, Jimmy, you're going to have to fucking tie him up and fucking kidnap him.
We're the schmoozers. We'll be talking everybody's fucking.
Wait a minute, Dave. Don't talk all that shit. I came down to Florida. I shot a commercial. I hung out with you. Come on. I made it.
Yeah, once in 10 years. I mean, that's
you
couldn't make it to Ricky's place this weekend.
And then you ran back to New York as fast as you could.
Lee out in California.
Right. Ran back to New York as fast as he could. Hey, listen, he had to get Lee made Lee get him on an early flight so he could hurry up and leave.
Just think about it, man. Hardcore Gym have Valentino, Jimmy the Bull, Dave Palumbo. John Romano. What the fuck?
That's right.
Yeah, they don't have to know. They don't have to even know.
Richard Rodriguez is the marketing genius.
In the background.
I'll do the
They would come there just for us. Forget about the fucking gym.
Exactly. Hardcore. Absolutely.
Anybody Georgie selling the
you know what?
in the back.
You know what we're gonna do at the grand opening? We're gonna take Johnny Bravo, tie his fucking hands up, and cut his fucking gay ass Elvis hair, man.
Fuck you.
That's what we're gonna do.
Give Mr. All I have to do is
give Mr. G. Comb in my hand.
Give Mr. G the snack bar. Mr. G's gonna run the snack bar in there with Mr. G's protein snacks from MrG'sProteinSnacks.com. You're gonna get all the cookies. We got keto cookies. We got bagels, pretzels, everything protein. That's gonna be Mr. G's. You got to give him the snack bar.
Hey, Mr. G, we got to get a high protein hot dog truck out.
Absolutely.
There you go. Jimmy,
Absolutely.
No headphones. No fucking headphones in the gym. None.
No cell phones.
No headphones.
cell
Only
phones.
music on the
Hey.
on the speakers.
No, we
You
got
can wear
Georgie.
headphones
We
when
gotta
you're
have
doing
a
your
box.
cardio.
We have a box in front of the gym. When you walk in, your cell phone's gotta go in that box.
No
Yeah.
cell phones.
You'll
No
sell
cell
5
phones on the
memberships
fucking
to the gym. You'll
floor.
be broken in a week.
You know what I hate? You know what I hate? Every time one of these fucking chicks or something is doing abs and she's filming herself, and sometimes they're doing a Facebook Live shit. I'm in the background and I'm like, motherfucker, I don't want to, because I don't like that.
You know
shit.
what you do? I got an
Greg.
idea. If you want to get rid of cell phones, you create a gym that's like a tomb. So no signal, no Wi-Fi, no signal can get in there. So no one has service when they
But
get
they
in
still
there.
be taking them fucking pictures.
No,
and
Dave, they
videos.
got
Put
those. They
tinfoil
got those
around
fucking. They
Put
got those
fucking
jammers.
tinfoil around
Those
it.
fucking
Yo.
scramblers.
Lead.
They have those jammers. You just put a jammer in the gym. It just jams the signal. Nobody, you
They
don't
still
need
do
a
video
constant.
clips.
Hey,
They
Greg,
still do the video clips. Yeah.
Greg, I just read a story. I forgot what gym chain it is, but their new gyms, they're not putting mirrors in the gym because people are getting shot in the background, from the cameras.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they're suing the people they're
no.
suing the gym for making their faces public
Really?
without their permission.
Wow.
I think it's I'll tell you, it's bad. It really is bad. I'm in this, where our gym is, the way shit's situated. Guys even doing deadlifts, they're standing there like this, and and they're young kids too, and their fucking friends are taking a video of them. Squat racks. I'm in the background because I'm on the machines and shit, and
Yeah.
I'm always in. I gotta tell
You're like the guy
too.
from Pumping Iron in the Lou Ferrigno scene, the fat kid in the background.
Picking his nose.
That's in,
Always had the
that
mirrors
was
the
in the.
aerobics room. Like the
That was
aerobics
in
rooms had
R&J
mirrors, that's
Studio.
it.
That's what you're talking about. That wasn't a Ghost. That was in
That was
R&J
orange.
Studio.
That was
orange. Yeah,
That was the
yeah,
fat
you.
guy with
Yeah.
the white V-neck
With the white
t-shirt.
T-shirt. That was you, Greg.
Curling like fucking 2.5 pound dumbbells.
Hey, Jimmy, what would have happened to somebody taking pictures in Rabs with Squadrito and Keith Richards and all those psychopaths?
Oh, forget about it, man. They would have got their fucking ass kicked and dragged outside, and the whole fucking gym would have went out there and beat the shit out of them.
The cell phone would have been hanging out of their ass for sure.
Quadrito was like Joe Pesci.
Was he?
Yeah, it was like Joe. Yeah,
Imagine that with fucking Charlie Arms.
You had
Forget
it.
about it.
No, he was
Charlie
like
Arms
even 10
would've took
times
the cell
that.
phone and snapped
You
it.
had to wait.
Yeah, we didn't
One
do that
week you said
shit
the
back
wrong
in the day with that
thing.
bullshit.
No, I was in there to work out. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
about
we used to
nothing.
train. We used to go to the train. We didn't go to. It wasn't a social club, man.
I go there with fucking sweatpants. My balls would be hanging. I didn't care. Well, I wasn't no fashion plate walking around with the IRONMAG shoes and all, you know what I mean. I was there to work out, man. And I'm telling you.
Hey, Greg, easy on the Automix because Jimmy used to wear those.
I'm
Not
sorry.
only I used to wear those, Frank.
Front
I used to wear those
socks.
big Johnny. Remember those big woolly socks? I used to tuck my spandex
Yeah,
pants.
the crush down.
I know. I
Yeah,
seen
the
him
crush
do it.
down
I
socks.
seen him do it. But
was-
the
he
thing
had
is, though,
He
when
had the
Jimmy was
spandex-
training
right, he had
hardcore,
the
he wore
spandex
work
pants
boots with
on with the fanny pack on backwards and the scrunch socks on top of the spandex.
Right.
Atomic
Jimmy, in
shoes
that show,
unlaced.
you gotta wear. I think
Right.
you should wear that
Without
outfit.
his laces.
You gotta show everybody.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Now-
Jimmy, you did not wear that when you were like an animal, really getting into your fucking workouts. You were in there with work boots, like you said, with that big
Yeah.
jacket. You
No,
were in
I
there with
did.
ripped jeans.
What color were these
Yes.
spandex?
Don't
suits?
listen to that bullshit. I can tell you right now.
Jimmy,
I only
what
started
color?
wearing that shit when I went out to LA. I started wearing that a little bit.
When
Well,
you
I
started-
tell you, when I trained with David,
Quinn.
yeah, Quinn too. Well, Quinn started that with the. I started doing the
Yeah,
spandex
yeah.
stuff.
The hot
But
skin.
when the hot skins. I used to train with Dave, the barbarian brother, Paul, and he used to wear overalls with the boots. I used to wear my jeans with the fucking work boots. We used to train together. That's the way. I still train like that now. That's the way I train: jeans and boots. I don't really wear shorts or all that shit like
I
that.
do.
you know
That's,
what I mean?
I do too. I wear work boots. I wear Timberlands.
Yeah.
And boots. That's where I wear.
Bravo.
Absolutely, me too.
Bravo. Don't let them make fun of your hair anymore. They all wore spandex.
Now, hold on. Here's the last question of the day before we wrap this up. Frank, you told me that Richie Baratheon was the first guy that you'd ever seen who actually personal trained people. He was actually training celebrities. Mr. G claims that he was the first guy to ever train people. What year did Baratheon start training guys like Clooney and all those guys in the gym?
Weights.
Well,
With
I'll
weights.
tell you, when he started training, he trained Gastineau, so that had to be in the early 80s.
That's right.
And the year that here's the thing with Baratheon. Baratheon's mentor, and maybe you know his name, Jimmy. He was a fucking maniac. The guy who taught Barrety.
Yeah, he was a
He was like
grandmaster.
a 10th degree black belt. Something.
Yep.
And his thing, Barrety's thing was then training the core. You never heard that term back then, training the core.
Right.
He used to say all the power comes from the midsection, the core. Nobody ever did that. When Barrety trained all these guys, Gastineau, when he trained Gastineau, that's when he broke the sack record. When he trained McNeil, that's when he broke the rushing record.
Right.
And when he trained Cooney, that's when he went up the ladder in the heavyweights. But what he did with these guys, he put them on the cable machine, on the crossover machine. And I'm not even joking. I don't think any of them used more than 25 pounds, but they would do like 100 reps. And they would constantly do this twisting movement, this way, that way.
It was sports
when
specific.
they did pull downs, they did pull downs with like 50 pounds.
Wow.
But they only did partial. They only went up to their head, like this. But they did 50 reps, 100 reps. He was Frankie, way ahead of his time, man.
Frankie, Richie, God rest his soul. He was one of the most hardcore motherfuckers I ever know, man. I don't care what anybody said. That way he trained fucking so hard, bro. Oh. I mean, he loved people who trained like as hard. Right. He that's what he was all about, man. Back in the day there.
Listen, Barrett, honest to God, you know this, Jimmy. I think the only guy that Barrett even thought about, being a little dangerous was Squadrito. But Squadrito was another maniac trainer.
Yeah, he was
exactly like Barrett.
He did. He was a loose cannon, man.
Listen to this.
He really was.
I know you guys are wrapping it up, but one last story about the dojo and Rebs. So the third of the gym in the back is a dojo. And back then it was full contact. Full contact. Everything was full contact.
Absolutely.
And Squadrito and him, Barrety, squared off. And everybody stopped and was watching this shit because we knew Squadrito was that guy was a stone cold criminal. He was nuts.
He was.
And they're going at it. They're going at it. And Barrety's, doing his shit. Barrety gave him a kick so fucking hard. He went through the sheetrock on the right-hand side of the gym, which was the men's locker room, that when I redid the gym, when I did the gym over and I moved the lockers, there was a body, like a body imprint in the sheetrock, like a cartoon. It was like a cartoon. And when I broke down, what Jimmy told the story the other day, when I broke down Barrety's office, and I taken all the sheetrock, and he had paneling. You remember his paneling in his office? He had wood paneling. I took the paneling off the wall. There had to be 7,000 syringes in that wall. I'm not shitting. They were 4 feet high in between all the joists.
Because everybody just threw them in the wall. Yeah, exactly.
We used to throw them in the ceiling, to push up ceiling, the fucking.
Why would you guys throw them in the garbage pail?
We would throw the fucking ceiling tiles.
Of course, you weren't supposed to do steroids back then, Dave. So you had to hide the evidence, man. we were painting Richie's the locker room and Richie's Rabs in Huntington, and we had to move the lockers away from the wall because we were painting, right? When we moved the lockers, it was shitload of syringes all back behind the lockers.
Why do people do syringes in the locker room, not at home?
These guys used to
I don't know. Everybody just shoot up. Everybody took a shot and just trained. That's the way it was,
man. Dude, we used to put them in the drop ceiling. We push up the tile. The owner of the gym one time, this is before I owned the gym. The owner of the gym moved the tiles and the fucking syringes all pulled down on.
Frankie, I gotta cut you off, Greg. So Frankie, I gotta talk about Squadrito. I have one story about Squadrito. Okay, nobody really knows Squadrito, but we do. But anyway, one time his girlfriend was working at some department store, Macy's, some shit, and the manager disrespected his girlfriend, so she called Johnny up. I don't know if you know that story. And she says, "This guy, he goes, what's the matter, baby?" He said, "Does he call me a bitch?" Johnny went down to that department store, man, and he fucked anybody who was in that department store, he fucked them up. Fucking grandparents, grandmother, anybody who was in his way, he fucked the whole store. He got locked up. He went to jail for that, man.
Yeah.
Squadrito, another time, there was this big dude that was taking lessons by Richie Barrett in Huntington. This guy was like fucking 6, I don't know what the fuck. He was a giant, and he was a fucking asshole, right? So he was hurting people because he was big. So what did Richie do? He made a phone call up to Limbrook, and he said he got Squadrito to come down to the gym. And Squadrito squared off with this guy and beat the I was there. I was in the gym training. I felt so bad for the big guy because Squadrito was wiping the floors with this guy, man, to teach him a lesson, you know?
Yeah, no,
Unbelievable, man.
Squadrino was like you, Jimmy, when you used to drink and get out of control. He was like that, just normal.
Yeah,
Normal,
no,
right?
Squadrino was like a, you know what Squadrino was like? Squadrino's
like
like a fucking lion looking for. When you get him to that point, he's like a fucking a male lion looking for that piece of meat. There's no stopping him, bro.
No.
There's no stopping that guy. No, he coming in hard, man. He wants a piece of you. I don't give a shit.
What happened to him? Did he go to jail or something like that?
What died?
Yeah, he went to jail for a long time. He came out. He came back to Gold's. He was training at Gold's, and then him and his girlfriend actually were training together, and then he disappeared for like, I don't know, a month or something. And I asked one of the guys that knew him what happened. He actually died. He had a heart attack.
Oh wow!
He had a heart attack. He had a heart attack. He was cocaine induced. He stuck his head in a sink full of cocaine.
When was this?
This well, let's see. This had to be
early 90s, right?
Early 90s. Yeah, he had just come out of jail too. He did a lot of time.
Had to be after 90s.
What did he do time for?
What
did he do time for?
Because I was.
He did time for assault.
Oh.
Yeah. He was in for a while, but what happened once he was in there? Of course, he got tested, and he beat a guy. I don't know if he beat him to death or close to death. I know he put him in a coma with a fire extinguisher.
Oh my God.
He just.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, Frankie, Squadrino was one of a kind, man. That guy would go from zero to fucking
0 to 100 in a second.
Yeah, and he was like all out. Like, I mean, you know, I saw it many times, man.
And meanwhile, his brother Anthony was a piece of cake. Anthony Squadrino, did you know his younger brother? His younger brother was like the best guy in the world. He was a nice guy. He was crazy, but they were two opposites.
Did you ever?
Johnny was a great guy. If you were his friend,
I always said Squadrino was Richie Barrett's masterpiece. You know,
no doubt.
That's what Squadrino was. Yeah, that was his creation. Squadrino. You cut. He's the kind of guy. If there's a brawl in the bar, you keep Squadrino in the van. If the brawl's getting out of hand, you open up the van door and you let Squadrino out.
Tasmanian devil.
That's it. Yeah, right.
He was a one-man
unhook him and let it. Yeah, he definitely was that.
One-man wrecking crew, no doubt about it.
Unbelievable. That guy Squadrino is unbelievable.
And Jimmy's saying that.
Yeah.
Jimmy's saying how out of
Squadrino, man.
Squadrino was a badass.
Did you ever have a run-in with him, Jimmy?
No, I was friends with him, thank God. You know, he respected me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because I was tight with Richie Barrety, and then, you know, Squadrino, of course, you know, knew how tight I was with Richie, you know, because Richie, you know, when I first met Richie, I didn't know Richie. I went down to his gym. Jimmy Quinn took me there, and I started training. I told you the story, right? I was training in the gym, and I was doing dumbbell curls. I used to hold on to the leg machine, take a fucking 120 dumbbell, and I used to fucking heave the dumbbell up like this, just screaming and shit, you know. So all of a sudden, Richie came over to me because I was going ape shit over there, because that was just my style. And Richie comes over and he goes, "What's your name?" I says, "Jimmy." He says, he had a key in his hand. He goes, "Here's the key to my gym." He says, "You could train here anytime you want."
Really?
He says, he said to me, he goes, "I love the way you train." He goes, "You don't just train." He says, "You attack the weights." That's what I love about you. And he gave me the fucking key. I used to go there 3 o'clock in the morning. Me and Jimmy used to bounce all night, then go 3, 4 in the morning. We used to go train in the gym. It was great, man.
Hey, Jimmy, I want to elaborate on a story you told about Barrety when he went on Johnny Carson, because Barrety told me the story. First of all, Jimmy told you that he broke his hand every time he did the granite.
Yes.
He held the record. He used to break 13 slabs of granite. And when he went on Carson, he set him on fire. He broke it. His sleeve caught fire. Frank Romeo, remember Romeo was struck?
Yep.
Put it out with a fire extinguisher. And Johnny Carson came over, of course, with that, you know, that face he used to make. And he shakes Richie's hand before the commercial break. And as he shakes his hand, he pulls it away. He's got Barrety's skin in his hands. Johnny Carson almost passed out when he did that. Thank God they went to a commercial break, because he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to. He looked at his hand and he saw all this skin in his hands.
Frankie, Johnny Carson wouldn't even have him back on the show. He was scared to death to fucking Barrety. Barrety up the granite slab. He did 17 slabs of granite. And when he used to do it when he did the Johnny Carson show, he didn't use that. Today, you know, Hollywood, they use that pyro shit, you know, where it don't really burn.
No, he didn't use anything.
He was using gasoline. He put gasoline on the fucking thing. So when he hit it, the gas got on his gi. The whole gi went on fire. They were putting him out of the fuck. Johnny Carson had a heart attack, man. He couldn't believe it. You know, because Richie was real.
Barrett broke his hands 27 times.
Yeah, he went to the doctor. Richie told me he went to the doctor and his fucking hand looked like this, right? And he went to the doctor for his hand because it was all like mangled, you know? And the doctor looked at his hand and goes, are you done breaking granite? Richie goes, no. He goes, I'm not touching that fucking hand. He said that's what he told him.
And he used to wear did he used to wear flag gi sometimes?
Yeah.
I know Richie Barrett. Okay. Yeah. I did a fucking we did a thing with him and in 1991 at fucking college over here, and he was fucking. I remember him like he was a bad dude, kicking that bag. You did a whole thing with
he was a
Ronaldo Snipes, Bill Kazmaier, Kevin LeBron, Mike Matarazzo, all the shit. Bob Bonham promoted it, and we did a whole fucking thing there. There was other people. I forgot who else.
Barrett had his first heart attack when he was 32 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Shit, I remember him.
Was that bad genetics or what?
Bad genetics, bad genetics. And Jimmy,
I remember him.
He also had lupus. He had lupus.
He had lupus. He had the glass eye. He used to take out. He put it on the bar. He would take his glass eye out to go to the men's room. He sit it on the bar, and he tell the bartender, "Hey, I got my fucking eye on you."
Frankie, I told that story. Frankie, I told that story the other day. We were in Palm Springs, California together. We were hanging out at Zelda's, this club in Palm Springs, right? So we're sitting at the bar, and we met a couple of girls. We were all just hanging out, having cocktails, whatever. So Richie had a piece, so he took his eye out, and he put his eye on my shoulder like this, right? And he says, "Jimmy, do me a favor. I'm going to keep an eye on these chicks when I go to the bathroom." I said, "Yeah, no problem." The two girls looked at me like, "Holy Jesus," because he put his eye on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
He was nuts, man. He was nuts. He was
crazy. He was a lot of fun, man.
Jimmy, there's no more guys like that. I mean, you guys are all, like that, but there's no more people like that.
I don't think so. I don't know, man.
It's nuts.
Too much estrogen in the food supply.
Dude,
or there's too much social media. No one goes anywhere anymore, John.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all virtual friendships now.
Frankie, I got to say, Frankie, I don't know about today what the youth does, man, but back in the day, man, everything was exciting. Just going out, going to the gym, just driving down just driving down the avenue, going into Brooklyn, man, going to the restaurants. Everything was just exciting. You know what I mean? It's really like that anymore. I don't know if I'm getting older.
No, it's social media. No one goes anywhere. They
like
text
Dave
each
said.
other.
Dave, I think you're right. I don't even think these young people know how to socialize.
No.
Nah, they don't.
They don't. They don't. I'm having that issue with my son now. It's like all he wants to do is just be hammered on a fucking iPad, play Roblox and TikTok all the fucking time. and he tries to do three things at once. I try to call him to chat with him for like about an hour. He's eating, playing Roblox, dancing while he's trying to talk to his fucking father. Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit.
My son's the same way. Same way.
I was going to say, Jimmy, the reason why.
Somebody's preoccupied. When somebody, when I'm on the phone with somebody and I'm talking, all of a sudden I go, what? I just tell you what the fuck I just said. I got to say it because I know that the person I'm talking to is texting somebody while I'm talking and they're not paying attention what the fuck I'm saying. And that aggravates the fucking shit out of me. I want to fucking hang up. You know what I'm saying? Dave does that shit.
I do that
shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does. He does it
so
all the time. Yeah, he does. It's like, God forbid, when I
He's
call
doodling.
Dave,
He's doodling while I'm this.
When I call Dave, if he talks to me for like 7 minutes straight, I'm like, oh my God, he spoke to me for 7 minutes straight. I'm so happy. I'm excited.
All right.
You sure you're not on the Android right about now, man? You look.
No, right now. No, I'm
Hey, Rich, wait
Anadrol calms him down.
Wait till the kids get the virtual reality gone.
Yeah,
oh my God!
Listen,
oh my God, my son.
I can talk to you guys all day. Richard, Frankie, Greg, Jimmy, Mr. G. Open that gym. It's going to be called the Super Gym, the Super RxMuscle Gym. Check out Mr. G's ProteinSnacks.com for your keto cookies, pretzels, and bagels. And Ricky False has got his fight this coming Saturday. We'll put up the if you want to watch it live streamed or anything like that. And it's for a good cause. They're giving money to the veterans, and we can never give too much to them. So, guys, thank you all for joining me. Frankie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Richard,
again.
Thanks for joining us. And, of course, I know
keep in
Johnny
touch,
Bravo's
Jimmy.
not here. Final words?
Frankie.
Final
Frankie,
words, man. Thanks for
I
the
love
love,
seeing you,
man, and
bro.
I really appreciate it, man. And I'm Dave. You've been a blessing, man.
Thank you. Frankie,
God bless, Richard.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me.
where
Dave.
are
I
you
appreciate
living
it.
now, Frank?
I'm in Delray Beach.
Oh, you're right down here. Oh,
Yeah,
Frank.
I surfed there.
Neighbors, be
Mr.
on
G,
his
I
right
show
surfed
live.
at Delray.
Frankie, I gotta come visit you, Frankie.
Come on
You
down.
guys
going
are right
anywhere.
there. You can open
Not
the
going
gym. You don't even have
anywhere.
to travel.
Hold on, Frank. 5,000 people. Listen, it's 5,000 people a week are moving to Florida. 5,000.
Johnny, all I gotta
Open
do
the
is
gym.
go under Greg's desk.
And Jimmy
all I gotta
is
do is go to Greg's house. I'll get an airline ticket under his desk.
Use the one Ricky bought you.
There's the glass eye.
there's 5,000 people moving to Florida. Not one of them is Jimmy the Bull.
Hey, Jimmy, get my phone number from Dave.
I will, brother.
I'll
Yeah,
give you- I'll
Dave.
give you-
Dave, give him my number too.
I will
Give him my
definitely,
number.
guys. Thanks for joining us, and
Thanks, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I know I did. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks, man.
Take care.
All right, guys.
Ciao,
Love
man.
you guys.
Bye,
Love you guys
Bye,
too, man.
All right,
Ciao.
God bless.
Awesome show. Great. I had so much fun.
Frank, nice talking.